My name's Andy Dorshuk. I'm the editor of Drum Magazine. And welcome to the first installment of our series of Mitch Mitchell drum parts that are going to be taken off the first two albums recorded by the Jimi Hendrix Experience. Now you may wonder why we're focusing on Mitch Mitchell. Reason number one, he's my favorite drummer of all time. But I don't believe it's just personal taste. I think that you can quantify how Mitch contributed greatly to the rock drumming vocabulary, and how when Hendrix released Are You Experience, it was a pivotal point for drumming, where it really truly was the beginning of the fusion movement, even though the word fusion hadn't come up yet. In other words, Mitch took a lot of jazz licks and chops and concepts and applied them to Hendrix's really heavy rock, that psychedelic rock that was really a new sound at the time. So we're going to start with cut number one, Purple Haze, extremely famous song by the Jimi Hendrix Experience from Are You Experienced? Okay, picture this. This is exactly what listeners heard when they first dropped the needle on Are You Experienced, Hendrix's debut album. They heard Jimi Hendrix and bassist Noel Redding playing that really famous, dissonant, heavy lick on guitar and bass, which went on for 2 bars before Mitch Mitchell came in playing 4 on the snare drum and a bass drum part that went 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 1. Here's how it goes when Mitch comes in. So after the introduction, Mitch does a little fill and goes into the verse, playing a beat that he uses on a lot of those early Hendrix tracks. It's his variation on a boogaloo beat, and we're definitely going to investigate that further in upcoming lessons. Here's what it sounded like after he came in on the first verse of Purple Haze. Now here's the thing that's interesting about that part. It's like Mitchell was laying down the law about how he was going to take drumming, rock drumming, in a whole different direction. Prior to him, the fanciest drummers around were guys like Keith Moon, who were just sort of wild, flailing around. I love Keith Moon, I'm not putting him down. But the thing about Mitchell is that he took that sort of fury that Moon had and applied a jazzy context for it, which had never been done before. And so in this case, right off the bat, on Purple Haze, the first song on Are You Experienced, every 2 bars, he plays a fill, taking you into the next 2 bars. And that was, you have to consider, that was really unorthodox at the time. Here are a couple examples of the fills he played on Are You Experienced? 1, 2, 3, 4. So after the 3rd verse, when you hit the end of Purple Haze, it just sort of jams on the 1 there. And Mitchell really opens up his fills and starts going crazy and starts giving you a taste of where he is going to go with drumming. Here are some of the ideas that he's using at that point. Hendrix is just jamming on the guitar, Redding's just holding down 1, and Mitchell's playing like this. I mean, there's a lot more to Purple Haze than that, but those are the basics that you can work with. And the great thing about playing Mitch Mitchell songs is you should not be afraid to improvise. He was all about improvisation. So take that basic skeleton and run with it. Thanks for coming to drummagazine.com. The next song we're going to look at is Manic Depression.